comfort things for him.
Yeah, yeah, that's very likely. Let's see, he's got the golden Mercy pistol, so definitely dedicated to the witchcraft here. Being a necromancer that she is.
Do you think
People
Mercy
don't
needs
realize
buffs?
Do I think she needs buffs? That's tricky, right? I think Zen and Anna have recently overshadowed her, and Lucio has just always been a staple just because he's a healing battery. You don't have to do anything, and speed boost is so good. So Mercy, it's tricky. I think her damage amp used to be stronger, and it was a bit broken. She could damage amp Widow and just one-shot people, even without headshots, so that was a bit rough. Mobility has been buffed a few times. Her res has been buffed a few times. I think, actually, this most recent balance patch, her res is even slightly quicker, something like that, or they're able to start moving. Res targets are able to start moving slightly faster, but either way, they've been tweaking her for a long time, so it's possible she's right where she needs to be. We'll just see as games continue, but it's all about playstyle, right? It's do you want to be the passive healer? Do you want to be more active, shooting things all the time? Just having options for people is nice as well. And the res is obviously very powerful. There was a time where casts were really hard to do, but you would never know who was going to win a fight because reses on both sides would just completely skew everything. But here we go. Hook actually getting that first kill finally on iPlayboy to get us started. Again, like 50 seconds into the fight. They're taking so long with these poke battles. Just the result of having so many tanks in play, 3 on either side.
You got Numi here. Tactical visor good to go. Nano boost 80%, so almost there as well. So it seems like right now the defense going to have the advantage right here of LMS Infinity 8. Astral Resurrection also going to be good to go. Nano boost good on the side, though, of Yalla Esports, excuse me, and so we'll see if they find their opportunity. Shields coming out from Zarya. There's Reinhardt as well, the triple tank strategy as they push in. So they're making the move. Zarya gets hooked in, but into the wall. She will survive for the time being. So far, nothing being used. There's a tactical visor, though, in the background, I believe, with the nano boost on top of that. The nano boost is on the Reinhardt, though, as well, and he's going to get a nice charge off, actually. Gets the kill onto Shimmy right there, but the hold so far successful, and it looks like it is going to be completed in favor of LMS Infinity 8.
Yeah, the nano-boosted soldier ult on top of the cafe there. He just had free rain down onto the tanks and healers. That's a nice thing, obviously, with soldier's ult. You can kind of just look in the general direction of a healer, and they're going to evaporate with that nano-boosted tac visor. So basically killing the healers very quickly lent itself towards letting the rest of the dominoes fall. Even though there was a nano-boosted Reinhardt, he did get a kill. He can't do it all himself, and losing the healers was just too backbreaking for that first push. So less than half of the time remaining now, under 2 minutes for the attacking team to try to get something done. They really need to get good use out of the sound barrier and the tac visor here. Graviton Surge is another tool that if they can break that Reinhardt shield first, then Graviton Surge, they could actually wipe that entire team just on top of the cafe. We'll see what their positioning's like here. They start to get into the fray.
And it's set to go. The hook attempt going to miss right there. She's keeping her distance. There we go in the background. An offensive Graviton Surge going to be used. One encounter, though, but it's going to be cleaned up for Numi with that tactical visor. Got the advantage. No nano boost even needed. Wow.
He didn't even have a tac visor. Numi.
That wasn't even a
shot.
Oh, my God.
No, so they all got caught on the corner there, right between the wall and the dumpster. That folding chair is there. I'm not sure if you get your graphics the same as mine, but there's basically a little spot where Soldier just shot a Helix rocket in, and that's splash damage into 4 targets, and they all just kind of exploded. So he only had about 40% of his charge at the beginning of the fight, 65 by the end. But here's the offense finally launching their ults. There's that sound barrier we were looking for. Pause has been pretty offensive with it, not using it to save lives so much, but rather get started for the fight. Astral with the res brings in a couple, but Celestial doing his great work there. Nano boosted Zarya as well, just running through people with that laser beam, and Celestial and iPlayboy finishing the job here. It's going to be Yalla finally taking point A, most likely. Yeah, no way the blue team is going to be able to stop this, but again, split spawning is an important consideration on defense. You can see all 6 of the blue team spawn together in the close spawn. No one got the bad far long spawn, so they're going to have plenty of time to set up here on the rooftop while the limo cruises toward that doorway.
Now, I know we saw defense in the skirmishes that we're casting yesterday on the Hollywood map here. Looking to switch to the Diva here at this choke point area, you know, with the aerial advantage here, but not going to be doing that on this side. They're sticking with the triple tank, but the Zarya, Reinhardt, and the Roadhog instead here.
Yeah, so Roadhog is actually going to be pretty pivotal if they can hit a hook either on offense or defense. Bringing Shimmy down to the ground is good, but the Earthshatter follow-up is there. Mortius, great Earthshatter and pin, allows the team to clean up easily there. And the limo is about where you'd expect it to be. That is where defense tends to just drop down onto the point, maybe a little further at the bridge that spans the two buildings, but essentially, they did exactly what they wanted to do on defense. It's lucky that they all got the same spawn and had the time to set up there. D.Va on offense can come into play here pretty often as well, or Winston. Just depends on what their setup is like. And even the defense doesn't really have anything that favors high ground too much, rather than I guess the Soldier is fine up there, but everything else is pretty ground-based here. Yeah,
I've been watching Numi kind of do damage from afar here. Does have that tactical visor, but he's waiting for other combinations, especially something like the Nano Boost. Speaking of that, Neff in the background getting really deep right there. Eventually gets chased down and killed. Not sure what that was about with the positioning, though. She got caught up in an awkward spot over there. Hook and a miss on Numi. Did a good job of dodging using that crouch button. Gonna hold off for now. Gonna get some chance to get some charge off. And in fact, there's the gravitational surge on either side ready to go. So another big ultimate's coming up on both sides.
I'm surprised that the defense didn't fall there. Losing Anna and another character over on the far left didn't really make sense for the defense, but I guess they got enough kills on the cart itself to be able to stall it out. And here come all the ults that we just mentioned. That Zenyatta Transcendence going to keep the team healthy, and no Anna nade going in until late is going to keep everybody in high health. Great barriers again from Customed. This time it's going to be the blue team flattened by the counter Earthshatter, and that payload just crushing Reinhardt's corpse there. I love seeing that. The ragdolls in this game are always so funny. Sometimes players just get sent to the moon, sometimes the payload just runs over them, but it's going to be iPlayboy and Customed with the really big Earthshatter allowing the payload to move. Neff, late death there on Anna is definitely going to hurt. She gets splattered right near the spawn, and they're going to capture checkpoint B with no problems. Only 17 seconds left, so they're cutting it close every time here, Yalla Esports, but they did win Kings Row in overtime, or very close to overtime, and this time they've been successful capturing those points on the last push each time.
Hey, close is good in three things: hand grenades, slow dancing, and overtime and Overwatch. As far as making it happen, you get the point. That's what really matters, right? So they keep it going, and they're going to be going to the final point right now as they keep the push. The triples tank, once again, still the thing that they're sticking to. In fact, both sides keep it to the same line. Astro, though, he does switch over to the Zenyatta. We saw this in the earlier map, kind of switch over at the last minute, at the last push, that is. Anna gets hooked in, by the way, from the offense, and she's going to be killed. So last boss going to have to wait for the resurrection. It seems like as a team, they will fall back and wait for Anna to come back up. So they're doing a good job of retreating, but only a minute left. So, I mean, they're pretty much going to have one chance here to actually make this push happen. Ultimate status, not a whole lot up on either side. Cav's the only one with it, with that whole hog. So probably going to charge up a little bit, but I don't know if they're going to get enough charge here to get some ultimates.
This is a rough corner to take. Can be very determining of if they're going to finish the map at all, because once you do break through that last corner, you've got a straightaway, and the sight lines are just impossible for the defense to deal with. But Zenyatta ult comes in, saves the lives of the Earthshatter victims. There's a whole hog going out, but Cavs gets put to sleep before he's finished. Mortius getting super low on the Reinhardt. There goes his shield and his body. Mortius and Cavs fall as well, and Yalla cruising through now. Nano boosted Rein getting a lot of credit there once again. Those huge hammer swings. There's a nano boost attack visor here for Numi, but off on his own, not going to be able to accomplish anything. And Yalla finish again with 8.3 seconds, and I'll tell you why that's important. If they had finished with 0 seconds in overtime, if it had expired completely, they would be done with the map. They would not have another chance to attack. The best that they could hope for is a full hold and a... sorry, let me start from the beginning here. If the red team here had pushed all 3 points with 0 seconds left, and then the blue team pushes all 3 points with some seconds left, that means the red team would not be able to attack again. They won't get another round. But since they finished with a little bit of time, they actually get a free minute. Let's say the blue team pushes here and has like 20 seconds left at the very end. They'll get 20 seconds more, or I guess 12 seconds more, because that's 20 minus 8. Yeah. They'll have a minute 12, and the other team would have a minute. So the game actually gives you some time. They realize like 8.3 seconds obviously isn't enough to try and take A in the next round. But if you have 0 seconds, they don't even give you an opportunity. If you have any seconds, they give you a minute, up to a minute. So it is important that they finish with even just a little bit of time here. Of course, if they hold A, B, or C completely, they just win the map. That's, of course, a possibility here for Yalla, and they did They did do that on Kings Row, right? They held, yeah, no one finished the map actually in that last one.
Exactly, yeah, they held long enough and eventually got the victory on their side. So I'm looking at the lineups here. Again, we're talking about the first game. Both sides running almost mirror matchups to an extent, especially the triple tank, the Reinhardt, the Roadhog, as well as the Zarya. Seems like we might see possibly a little bit of switch up here, but is that
Genji?
Yeah, Genji coming out. I mean, Diva also on Shimmy. I wonder if he's going to stick with that, but yeah, they're still swapping around a little. We'll see when the doors actually open right here. But
that's a classic thing here in Overwatch as well. Is players like to troll the casters as often as possible and pick like Torb, Symmetra, just random stuff. Defense usually we comment until the doors open, just because offense always seem to have last-second switches. But the comp actually exiting the door here. We've got Ana Zen, so no Mercy for Astral. He's off of that comfort pick. And no Lucio either for speed boost, even though they do have a triple tank here, not going with the mobility advantage that we have seen previously. So we'll see now. The poke battle is very important. It's going to be mostly Roadhog and soldiers just pouring in damage onto the Reinhardt shields as much as possible. That's a nice thing actually about D.Va is her shield can't be broken. It's all just time-based, so she can absorb infinite amounts of damage as long as she has it available, whereas Reinhardt's shield's broken, he's a sitting duck. So D.Va, good play so far, it seems, for LMS, still taking a long time for this first battle. These Roadhog hooks have been really wonky today.
Yeah. Kind of getting caught in the wall there. Very interesting defensive positioning, by the way, too, especially in comparison. Mech going to be taken out for Diva right there, and she gets crushed by the mace shortly after. Meanwhile, Roadhog from the top looking for that hook chance. Not going to get it, though. Cabs will heal up himself. But, yeah, the difference in defensive objective here, they're sitting on the car rather than on the upper part of the deck over here that we saw, the cafe area from the opposite side. So is that an advantage, you think? I mean, is there a reason why they're doing this, or just their flavor?
I'm not sure. It might have something to do with the fact that they can spread out a little bit easier if a threat is incoming. If you're all up on the top of the cafe, there's not really a great exit strategy there other than to drop down into the cafe, which then you're pinned inside, right? So if they're on the car, at least they can split several directions. If they feel like a big push is coming in, if a sound barrier goes off, they know that they can scatter a little bit, for example. But that's the only thing I can really tell immediately. Otherwise, they're really not too different. You normally stay in the top of the cafe to have that high ground advantage, and if they're just dueling at you from that balcony there, then maybe you get a little bit of LOS as well. If you're down on the cart, you can kind of move to the right side and they don't get those sight lines on you.
The UC Ultimates are going to go. Tactical Visor popped in the background with the Nano as in comes the Earth Shatter, but not going to be enough for the stop. The whole hog, everything being used. In comes the Gravitational Surge. This one, nobody dead. Finally one kill on a cap. Tranquility, though, pops. How's it only one kill so far? Suicide in the back. Is that going to catch anyone? It absolutely does. Playboy gets picked up on that Zarya. And it looks like Blue might have some kind of a push going, but only 2 players dead through all of it. That's amazing. Make that 3 as Roadhog goes down. And yes, the advantage now definitely in favor of LMS Infinity 8.
They are trying their hardest to get onto that point. Still no ticks secured. Pause as the Lucio is doing a good job just staying hidden there, not allowing them to capture any, but the hook eventually ends his life. Anna's still standing, last boss over here, who played a really great May in the previous round on Kings, staying alive really well as Anna. 2 ticks have been secured now for the offense, so even if they do fall, which is not likely at this point, they did have a good chance anyway. Looks like everything is going their way, though. And even Soldier ulting, Celestial pops his ult to try and do what he can. He's going to get chased away and killed, so no Tac Visor for the second stretch. If they had defended on A, it would have been worth it, but it looks like the 3 tanks are going to be too much muscle for the defense to hold on to. I think they got 1 solid wipe as defense before just having another super long extended fight and eventually losing out.
I like how Shimmy also jumps right into them as they're on the elevator right there. Sleep on a Reinhardt. But again, this is that split that you're talking about. So they're kind of regrouping and not going to all be on the same page. But look at this. Celestial actually going Reaper himself. So trying to take advantage of this tank lineup here, get in the front lines and do some big damage with those beastly guns of his. Diva continues to fly up, though, be the harasser that she can be, and be really just annoying simply. But the aerial advantage in favor right now of Yalla Esports here on that defense, but the payload's moving. It's moving actually pretty quick. The hook, though, on a Lucio comes through, and that could stall some things for the time being right now as a jump in. Bigger shadow in the back on knockdown 3, if not more. The cleanup coming out for the defense as Reinhardt gets the shield up, but no, he's going to be taken out. Mortius takes him, but he goes down shortly after. Zarya herself will also fall, though, but it is going to be a hold on defense. Finally comes through as they also pick up Shimmy
Dizzy getting Dizzy is getting his own Roadhog hook highlight reel. We saw in the scrims last night another Roadhog player just hitting hooks left, right, and center, but this time it's Dizzy catching a Zenyatta and a Soldier over the course of that fight. The nano-boosted Earth Shatter did a lot of damage immediately and, of course, set them up to finish the street sweep there, but Earth Shatter used to do a lot more damage on the initial hit, and it would just instantly kill people. So they actually toned down Earth Shatter, I think, twice over the course of the game's lifespan. The nano-boosted Earth Shatter still very lethal, as you can tell. And as the team is trying to reclaim the cart here, you see they're actually taking a split push. Cabs back on the Pharah, Astral back on the Mercy. So we're seeing a little bit of remnants of King's Road. This is a great position to do it from, as the defense don't have that high ground anymore. Cabs able to just rain down toward that spawn area, that very narrow opening, and behind the dumpster, players trying to find refuge. They're actually going into the saloon now, but that cart is moving freely. You have to defend. You have to touch that cart, or it's just going to coast on in. Yalla really need to figure out how they're going to group, how they're going to deal with that Pharah Mercy on top now.
Yeah, I love seeing that change. I mean, this is an example why the changes are
Dizzy
so
with the
good,
hook.
but oh my god, the hook once again from Dizzy comes through the gravitational surge in the background. Nice job with the Earth Shatter, at least. Stalso thinks Tranquility also coming out, so we'll save the party for the time being. Diva, though, going to activate this suicide, but the wall goes off. It did still get the kill on it, Dizzy, speaking of him. So Roadhog going to be lost throughout this fight. The nano boost, meanwhile, onto Reinhardt here, being played by Custom. He's going to charge in. Does have that Earth Shatter to use. Will he find an opportunity to use it? Just swinging around that mace for the time being against Mortius. The other Reinhardt, he finally gets a kill. There's the Earth Shatter. It does connect on a Diva, maybe one more. Gets the mech killed, and Soldier also going to fall. So finally got the opportunity, and another hold successful.
What the res comes in. Suddenly things are different again. Cabs airborne above the point, just raining rockets down. I saw a barrage opportunity, but there it is. Finally coming out. He doesn't get anything for it, really. One kill onto pause, but I think he was about dead anyway. There's an Earth Shatter catching two on the cart, but Ryan's going to fall before he can capitalize on it. A little bit of a panic ult there. 20 seconds to go, and now the blue team just lost their Earth Shatter and their barrage, so it could be pretty rough. Pharah actually swapping onto Soldier now. Cabs, and actually we saw during that last fight, there was a big Earth Shatter taking precedence, but Celestial had swapped from Reaper to Soldier, and now you can see his tac visor going off now to try and prevent anyone from reaching cart. I don't think they're going to get there. 2 seconds to go, and Yalla will take the series most likely. Can they swat away this Lucio and the Tracer? I think they're going to be able to now with the numbers advantage. Everyone coming in. Earth Shatter lays Shimmy flat. He's going to lose his Diva suit immediately. Numi on the Tracer, trying to be a buzzing pest here for the Reinhardt, spinning him in circles. He even gets put to sleep, but it's going to be Celestial on the Soldier, getting the bulk of the kills. Once Celestial swapped off the Reaper onto Soldier, he took the high ground right away and actually was a great deterrent for that Pharah. And in the end, it's going to be Yalla taking the series 2-0. Excellent stuff there. Great series overall. Let's see who got the play of the match on Hollywood.
I'm going to say Numi on that Soldier the first half. He had that one big cleanup without even the tactical visor. I want to see
Oh,
that.
right, the Helix Rocket into the
dang
grab
it,
surge.
you didn't get it.
Morty, I was going to say there's some big Earth Shatters. I don't remember exactly which one. We'll see here.
Oh, the jumping.
Oh, yeah, this is the beginning of the whole
set
thing.
it up for it, yeah.
Yeah, there's the Numi Helix. That had to be a Helix Rocket. Just they all died instantly.
I'm going to call that the Space Jam right there. That was awesome. Just
Space
jumping
Jam.
off the cafe, throwing down that hammer. That was something.
Yep. Solid play from both teams, but it's going to be Yalla advancing here in the EU Reddit Championship. Good series, man. That was a great one for a round of 32. You never know what you're going to get.
I love
these
it.
Crazy random seeds, but that was definitely a solid match.
I love it. That was just it helps